color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it?
Ooh.
It was every color.
Yeah, I was gonna say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to 1st to 2nd grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland.
Yeah.
It was that color.
Yeah, it was just
like jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out your spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in the universe. It feel like you in the So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, and orange. What color is Wendy's? What color is Chick-fil-A, McDonald's? Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high value.
Yeah.
So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.
Hey yo, Dark Mafia was good. Did you miss me? I sure missed y'all. We're gonna get straight into it with some strange and creepy videos from the TikTok, man. Let's get it.
This man has proof that we are being spied on by technology. Watch this, yo.
So I was looking around my room for something to test this if my TV's watching me theory. And so I've never seen a Lego commercial.
We've
ever.
all experienced
It's
this.
never been presented to me. I've seen the commercials around my son, but I've never seen ads, Lego ads or anything like that. So I played with some Legos in front of the TV. I just said the word Lego 1,000 times and was just holding it, showing it to the TV like Lego, 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 Lego. Lo and behold,
they are listening to
first
us
Lego ad.
100%, y'all.
And of course it's Saturn.
They weird.
The American people should be given more information. They're ready for it. They can handle it. And they need and deserve to know it. Whether it's the president personally, he can't go on national TV every evening, but the Congress has an obligation as well to inform the American people.
We all have our agreements that we signed, and they're still, to be honored. Right. However, there isn't any reason why certain information can't be shared when it's for the benefit of humanity. One of the premises for founding this technology corporation that I did in 1998 was to bring forth these technologies that can help get rid of the toxics, that can clean the air, that help get rid of the need for so much fossil fuel, or help it become more efficient, that can help humanity in the form of education, that helps clean up pollution. I already said that in various forms. Yes, it is time. And I can tell you personally that it's already started. And I can prove what we have come up with. We can prove.
Are these energy generation systems, or can you speak about them?
The energy generation systems that the associates have brought forth deal with using natural energies from planet Earth. And there is a natural harmonics of the planet. It's already been proven.
This is breaking news from around the world that you definitely have not heard of. In southern China, a perfectly preserved embryo was found inside a fossilized dinosaur egg. It dates back 72 to 66 million years ago and sheds light on the link between dinosaurs and modern birds. From head to tail, it measures 27 centimeters or 10.63 inches. NASA announced that its Parker Solar Probe was the first Minecraft to ever touch the sun by flying through its corona or upper atmosphere. Here are images that it took that were transformed into a 13-second time-lapse of what it looks like on the surface. The first true millipede has just been discovered in Australia. Scientists named it Eumillipes persiphone and is said to live 200 feet underground, has no eyes, and 1,306 legs.
In 2003, just before the U.S. invaded Iraq, a German-led team after U.S. forces reportedly secured the site, and the discovery was quickly classified. Then, in 2016, a leaked Hillary Clinton email referenced the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh and the buried Nephilim. The sender? Denitra D. Senegar. The subject? Iraq. In 2021, the U.S. returned a rare Gilgamesh tablet it had quietly seized, smuggled years earlier and tied to that same ancient myth. Was the war really about oil? Or was it about recovering something far older and far more powerful? Follow for more.
Hey, you know, war is getting kind of played out. You know, I'm really getting tired of hearing about war, man. Like, can we focus on technologies and, you know, focus on nature and stuff like that, bro? What we always fighting for?
In 1908, President Teddy Roosevelt sought to protect the Grand Canyon from timber and mining operations. Explorer G.E. Kincaid, anticipating the closure, mounted an expedition to the area to find minerals. But what he discovered there was something completely unexpected. Approximately 40 miles upriver from El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid observed unusual sediment stains, and upon investigation found a cavern entrance with steps leading to it, suggesting a man-made structure. Inside, Kincaid found writings on the walls not in English or Native American scripts, but in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. This finding suggested a historical connection far beyond local or known civilizations. The cave system revealed a vast underground city, estimated to house up to 50,000 people, complete with granaries, cooking areas, and artifacts indicating a sophisticated society with knowledge of metalwork and possibly agriculture. Among the findings were granaries with preserved seeds, tools made of copper indicating a lost art of hardening the metal, and various artifacts that pointed to a technologically advanced civilization. The complexity of the cave system with engineered passageways and rooms challenged contemporary understandings of ancient civilizations in North America. Kincaid's findings led to a Smithsonian expedition led by Professor S.A. Jordan, which further explored the cave system, uncovering a central chamber with a statue resembling Buddha, hinting at a cultural amalgamation or influence from distant lands. The artifacts and the layout of the cave suggested a deliberate, sophisticated design, contradicting the notion of an isolated or primitive local civilization. Despite significant discoveries, mainstream researchers and the Smithsonian have labeled the account as a hoax and dismissing the claims of an advanced civilization predating Native Americans in the Grand Canyon, and the possibility of ancient transoceanic contacts that might have influenced pre-Columbian American civilizations. Any and all attempts to further explore or validate Kincaid's findings face governmental restrictions, with areas off limits for exploration. This remarkable discovery aligns with local tribal legends, such as those of the Hopi, suggesting a historical basis for tales of ancient peoples and non-human entities emerging from the Grand Canyon, blending myth with tangible archaeological intrigue.
So I think about it. Put it in the comments.
The Smithsonian Museum is covering up evidence that ancient Egyptians ventured to the Grand Canyon in North America, leaving behind hieroglyphs and mummies that have remained hidden for thousands of years. This conspiracy theory dates back to 1909, when the Arizona Gazette published stories about an explorer named G.E. Kincaid and his journey down the Colorado River. The paper reported that Kincaid discovered a cave entrance about 2,000 feet above the riverbed and decided to explore it. When I saw the chisel marks on the wall inside the entrance, I became interested, securing my gun, and went in. Kincaid reportedly told the paper. During that trip, I went back several hundred feet along the main passage till I came to the crypt in which I discovered the mummies. Kincaid described the crypt as one of the largest chambers, with walls slanting back at about a 35-degree angle. The mummies were arranged on hewn shelves, each with a small bench at its head, where copper cups and broken swords were found. Some of the mummies are covered with clay, and all are wrapped in a bark fabric, Kincaid said. He noted that all the mummies examined so far were male, leading to the belief that this section was a warrior's barracks. According to the report, Kincaid took numerous relics and shipped them to Washington. He also discovered large rooms chiseled out of the rock further inside the cave. Over 100 feet from the entrance is the cross hall, several hundred feet long, in which are found the idol, or image, of the people's god, sitting cross-legged, with a lotus flower or lily in each hand. The cast of the face is oriental, and the carving in this cavern, Kincaid reportedly said. The idol almost resembles Buddha, though the scientists are not certain as to what religious worship it represents. Considering everything found thus far, it is possible that this worship most resembles the ancient people of Tibet. The report claimed Kincaid found numerous other artifacts, including vases, urns, and copper and gold cups, which the Smithsonian was investigating. Most intriguing of all were the hieroglyphics. On all the urns, walls over doorways, and tablets of stone found by the image are mysterious hieroglyphics, the key to which the Smithsonian Institute hopes yet to discover. The engraving on the tables likely has something to do with the religion of the people. Similar hieroglyphics have been found in southern Arizona. Among the pictorial writings, only 2 animals are found. One is of prehistoric type, the report stated. Despite the extraordinary nature of these claims, the Smithsonian denies any involvement in such a discovery and asserts there are no records of Kincaid's existence. Skeptics argue that the tale was likely a hoax, similar to an 1878 story by noted hoaxer Joseph Mulhattan, who claimed Egyptian mummies were found in a Kentucky cave.
And you know, who says they didn't travel and put stuff? They didn't have governments that limited where they can go. You know, they could have went anywhere in the world for real. I mean,
In 1985, Saddam Hussein ordered the restoration of the great ziggurat of Ur. Even today, you can still see and use the massive stairways he had installed. He believed Ur was sacred ground, the place where gods once walked. According to the Sumerians, this was where the gods descended, ruled the earth, taught kings, built cities, and then vanished. The ziggurat was a beacon. During the restoration, workers uncovered sealed chambers, rooms not listed on any archaeological plans inside, strange inscriptions, symbols that didn't match Sumerian cuneiform, tools or objects made of unfamiliar alloys, burned glyphs resembling stars, gates, and spirals. The site was locked down, workers were reassigned, equipment removed under military escort. Whatever was found, it never saw the light of day again. After the invasion, the U.S. military did something strange. They built a base right on top of the great ziggurat of Ur, not beside it, not near it, directly on top. The oldest temple in human history turned into a forward operating base. The official story? Logistics, proximity, coincidence. But the soldiers who were stationed there told a different story. They described areas of the site being cordoned off, patrolled, off limits. Archaeologists were removed, locals pushed out, cameras banned, sections of the ziggurat sealed, covered. One soldier said it felt like they weren't guarding a monument. They were guarding something inside it. If Saddam had found something beneath Ur, the U.S. came to take it. But what if the ziggurat was never just a temple? What if it was a machine? What if the ancients didn't just build monuments? They built terminals, interfaces to something larger, a Stargate network, a grid of hidden technology buried beneath layers of myth and empire. Iraq was just one node, but a powerful one, and Saddam knew it. That's why he rebuilt Babylon, had his name carved into every stone. echoed the proclamations of Nebuchadnezzar. He believed Babylon was rising again, that the gate would open, and the world watched him.
Steve, what y'all think?
Ancient kings spoke of gods descending from the sky. Modern powers wage wars over ruins, and buried beneath it all is a secret no one is supposed to find. Maybe it's just myth. Maybe it's buried truth. But whatever was uncovered in the deserts of Iraq, whatever Saddam found beneath the ziggurats and temples, it was enough to rewrite history. And maybe that's why they had to burn it. We were told the Iraq War was about weapons of mass destruction. We were told it was about oil, about terrorism, about freedom. But what if that was just the surface? What if it was about something older, something buried? The tomb of Gilgamesh, a resurrection chamber, a stargate, locked behind the gates of Babylon. The whispers are always the same. Artifacts taken, sites sealed, records scrubbed, and the world moves on, never asking why. They told us the Anunnaki were just myth. They told us the gods never came. But maybe they were here. Maybe they left something behind, and maybe, just maybe, someone found it. Saddam believed he was chosen to finish what the old kings began. And if that belief was based on something real, then the war wasn't about controlling the future. It was about rewriting the past, or worse, unsealing it. The story isn't over, because the ziggurats are still there, and whatever's sleeping beneath them hasn't woken up yet.
(1931 to 1936), right during the Great Depression. The Hoover Dam was created, forming Lake Mead and the largest reservoir in the entire United States, where it submerged multiple towns, brick and stone buildings, and old world structures. Today we're uncovering the hidden history of the Hoover Dam, the submerged town of St. Thomas, and the bizarre symbolism and technology that suggests that there's much more to this story than what we've been told. When the Hoover Dam was completed, it formed Lake Mead, again, the largest reservoir in the entire United States. This project submerged 248 square miles of land. This is equivalent to 158,720 acres gone, and all of it is under 532 feet of water, sinking things that would blow our minds today. Exactly like we've shown all over the world, including the town of St. Thomas in Nevada, where in the 1930s, residents were told to sell their land to the federal government. Most buildings were abandoned or dismantled. Why dismantle a building if you're going to sink it anyway? I think all of us can answer that. These buildings were not built with wood, and they were not built with dirt. They were palaces, and they were from the old world. They did not belong in Nevada at all. The entire town was submerged for decades until something happened recently. With record low water levels in this fake lake that they just made. Remember, it's not a natural lake. There was never supposed to be water there. So obviously the water levels are going to go down, and they knew this. And that's why they dismantled these buildings, because St. Thomas has now reemerged.
Did you know there's a hidden cave in the Nevada desert that's been completely sealed off by the government after a terrifying discovery? Just outside the small town of Lovelock lies a deep ancient cave, surrounded by cliffs and silence. Would you dare to explore a cave that some believe hides a dark chapter of human history? Drop your answer in the comments. Lovelock Cave was once home to Native American legends, stories of giant, red-haired cannibals that terrorized local tribes. According to the legend, warriors trapped them inside this very cave and burned them alive. Fast forward to the early 1900s, archaeologists began digging here and uncovered hundreds of ancient artifacts, strange tools, and even skeletal remains of abnormally large humans. But here's the chilling part. Soon after those finds, the cave was quietly sealed. The largest bones disappeared. And the official story? Changed. Some say it's all just myth. Others believe the site held proof of something we weren't meant to find, and the truth is buried in the desert forever. So, what do you think? Was this just a cave, or the tomb of something much more mysterious? Let me know in the comments.
America, we have a massive problem. There is a very lethal E. coli outbreak linked to lettuce that has hit 15 states, and our government chose to keep it a secret. This does not sit well with me. So a lethal E. coli outbreak linked to romaine lettuce ripped through 15 states at the end of last year. But the FDA didn't publicly disclose it. The outbreak was linked to the unaliving of one person and hospitalized 36 people in November, including a 9-year-old boy who nearly passed away from kidney failure. An internal report obtained by NBC News revealed that the agency did not name the produce company involved in the outbreak, and they didn't share the information with the public. Data connected 89 cases across 15 states and concluded that romaine lettuce was the source of the outbreak. Now, officials are not required by law to publish information about all known outbreaks of foodborne illnesses, and in some cases, the agency may decide to hold back on publishing information when the cause is still unknown. The FDA names firms when there is enough evidence linking an outbreak to a firm and there is actionable advice for consumers as long as naming the firm is not legally prohibited. By the time investigators had confirmed the likely source, the outbreak had already ended and there was no actionable advice for consumers. But food and safety advocates argue that the agency's response is not good enough. It is disturbing that the FDA hasn't said anything more public or identified the name of the grower or processor. People have a right to know who's selling contaminated products. Now, cases started popping up across Missouri and Indiana in November. The strain was identified as...
What's crazy, we have a boil notice right now in the town I live in. So I think it's E. coli, and it's the third one this year. We're getting annoying, man.
Oh, what a beautiful day for fun. What would you like to do? Party. That's a wonderful idea. Let's see. What kind of food should we have? Great. I packed some right here. Let's see. McDonald's hamburgers? Yeah. And some French fries? Yeah. Don't they look delicious? Yeah. And some triple thick McDonald's shakes? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Well, we can always make good use of that. Ah, here they are. Triple thick McDonald's shakes. Why, they're empty. Say, you sure can get a lot in these bags, can't you?
Was that a liquor bottle or am I tripping?
Okay, everybody ready to get your picture taken?
To celebrate cheeseburger time at McDonald's, Ronald was taking pictures of all his friends.
Okay, now smile and say cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger!
Very good. Here's a cheeseburger for you. Hey, who's next? Susie. All set? Okay, smile and say
Cheeseburger!
very good. Here's a cheeseburger for you. You know McDonald's cheeseburgers are so delicious you almost have to smile.
Ahoy! How about a cheeseburger for me?
Oh no, Captain Crook, not till you learn to smile.
Oh, really? Watch this. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger!
He did it! Yeah! If you want something to smile about, just say cheeseburger at McDonald's.
In McDonald's land, a McDonald's. In McDonald's land, a McDonald's. In McDonald's.
What color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it? Ooh. It was every color.
Yeah, I was gonna say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to 1st to 2nd grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland. Tan.
Yeah.
It was that color.
Yeah, it was
And-
Like
and then-
jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out your spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in a universe. It feel like you.
Wow.
So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, and orange. What color? What color is Wendy's?
Yeah.
What color is
McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A? McDonald's. Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high value.
Yeah.
So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.
Have you heard about the controversy in the US over a movie called The Sound of Freedom? If you haven't, here's what's going on. There is an insane amount of weird things happening in US theaters with this movie. It's called The Sound of Freedom, and it basically touches on the subject of human trafficking, and to be more specific, child trafficking. And this is a really sensitive subject. It's something that the filmmakers and the actors behind it and all of the supporters of this movie, they're trying to make people aware of what is actually going on. And what has led to this is massive conspiracy theories that Hollywood is trying to cover up this movie and trying to stop people from going to see it. So there is countless examples flooding my TikTok of people in the US going to see this movie and some strange stuff happening that's hindering their experience. In this first clip, people have already started to watch the movie. Police then come in, they pause the movie, and they say they're going to restart it from the very start.
Have people come out and complain, it's not our fault. We have to get this situated so that everybody can feel accommodated, and then we'll restart the movie, okay?
Restart the movie? Hold on.
In this second clip, a theater employee comes in and says that the projector is broken and that they're downloading the movie and it's going to take 30 minutes for it to download. He then urges people to leave and he'll give them free tickets if they leave. But people were like, no, we're going to stay here. We're going to want to wait to see the movie. So check this out.
With the projector, we had to wait for it to download the movie. It's going to be about 30 minutes. Everyone in here is going to get a free film pass. If you want to leave, that's understandable. I'll do a refund. I can help you.
So far, you can probably put this down to technical malfunction and the police coming in and the police having the power to overrule anything and just restart the movie. That's fine. Okay, we can see past these. But things start to get weirder when people in comment sections are starting to say that they've tried to book this movie online and it's been sold out, but yet they've come into the cinema and they're the only one there.
There's no one in here. And then it said that they were sold out. This is ridiculous.
This couple then talk about how the AC wasn't working and they were absolutely sweating in the theater and how the lights stayed on for the entire thing.
The AC was out, like when we went to watch the movie, and I'd seen someone else post something too that also saw it at an AMC, and their AC was out. They didn't turn the lights off.
They literally had the lights on.
They kept the lights on the entire movie.
Who does that?
Like,
They don't want you to see this movie.
they were trying to make it like not enjoyable.
No.
Like they were trying to make it unenjoyable.
Again, you can put this down to technical malfunction, but you look in the comment sections of these videos and loads and loads and loads of other people across the US are saying the exact same thing happened in their theater. And when you put all these pieces together, it seems like there's some crazy stuff happening that is specific to this one movie. And why is it all happening? We just don't understand it. Finally, in this clip, you'll see that whoever was watching this movie in a theater was experiencing some crazy glitches on screen, and I've just never seen anything like this before, and people are just talking about how weird all of these puzzle pieces are, because as I said, this movie is something that Hollywood doesn't really want to support and doesn't want people to see. So why, when you never ever ever hear about like crazy occurrences like this for any other movie, is it happening all across the US just for this movie alone? It's just really weird and nothing seems to make sense.
Tried going to see Sound of Freedom, and this happened. No one left until they played the movie. They tried to give us free tickets if we left.
Take from this what you will. Is this a crazy marketing stunt, or is Hollywood really trying to stop people from seeing this movie? If you check these videos out and see the creators that I've tagged in the videos, go to see their comment sections and you'll see that many other people who are just casual cinema goers have crazy experiences with this movie. It's coming out worldwide later this year, although I don't have an exact release date for the likes of Ireland and the UK, but I know for sure when this movie comes out, I will be going to see it straight away. Because I want to see, 1, what happens when it releases worldwide. 2, will it even get to that stage after all of this? And 3, I just want to see the movie for awareness. And everybody else should too, because this is a real subject and this is actually happening. And the reasons why all of this is happening are just a bit baffling to me and to everybody else. But if it is a crazy marketing stunt, well, I'll hold my hands up and say, like, okay, that was a weird way to go about it. But it really does seem like something fishy's going on here, guys. So let me know what you think. I know you probably all have heard different stuff as well that I haven't included in this video. Drop it down below. Let's have a conversation about it.
Is this? Let me go on Prime and it say I can't rent that movie. Then we know.
Song cursed. This theory says yes. The song in question is called Tiptoe Through the Tulips, made by a man named Tiny Tim. Now here's why this song may be cursed. Not only does this song seem like it's actually promoting stalking and assault, the way Tiny Tim sings this song is entirely too creepy. But the creepiest part is that Tiny Tim, the man who wrote the song, died while performing the song. Worst of all, this song has been found still playing after people have taken their lives. Anyway, it's time to listen to it. Fair warning. Are you ready?
By the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh!
Guys, what is going
Hey, that song is creepy. Y'all might not see it because YouTube probably gonna copyright it, but yeah, if it stays in.
on?
Strange sounds are being heard around the world. In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet. In Michigan, another trumpet-like sound. In Britain,
videos filmed all over the world have appeared on YouTube, the first in summer last year. But no one's really sure what they're hearing. Speculation ranges from cloaked UFOs to military testing, to experiments by HAARP, a US research project that studies the ionosphere.
You weren't supposed to hear this, but somehow you did. A signal broadcasting from nowhere, no origin, no explanation, just static and secrets. Number stations in the woods, ghost trains that never stop, frequencies that speak when no one should be listening. These aren't stories, they're real. Welcome to Broadcast from Nowhere. And if you're hearing this, it's already too late. Follow Strange But Known before the signal disappears.
So here are 5 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Number 5, the NSA spying on the American people. In 2013, Edward Snowden revealed that the NSA had mass collections of telephone and internet data on global communications. Number 4, MK Ultra. This was the CIA's real and declassified covert program at trying to develop mind control and create sleeper agents by experimenting on real people, usually without their consent. They basically experimented on people with drugs like LSD or tried hypnosis to see its effects on the human mind. They even tried to see if they could invent some sort of like truth serum. They also experimented with turning cats and dolphins into weapons. Number 3, the sabotage of the civil rights movement. So this has to do with the FBI's counterintelligence program, which was a series of cover and illegal actions taken by the FBI to disrupt the plight of Black Americans to gain equal rights in the U.S. This included methods like spying on activists and then leaking negative personal information. secret agents would create racial tensions within groups to break them down from the inside, stopping organized peaceful protest by having secret agents within the groups start conflict with the police, allowing police to retaliate. Number 1 is Operation Northwood. This one's insane. This was a real proposed declassified plan by the U.S., who staged a terrorist attack on American soil to justify intervention in Cuba. It was never done, but it was still revealed decades later in declassified documents. And if they were willing to do it then, who says they wouldn't do it now?
August 29th, 19...
Don't you get tired of hearing how that happens, though? Like, why? Man, I don't know, y'all. It just seems crazy to me.
1968, every television in America shut down, all at the same time. There were tons of reports of people hearing murmuring coming through their television when this happened, many believing that it was the devil's voice or some kind of demon trying to get into our world. The shutdown lasted a whole 25 seconds, at which point all the TVs turned back on and regular scheduled programming resumed.
Bedtime and brush your teeth. I like those toothpaste today. Let's try it out. Just one.
Cold water, Mrs. Spears?
No, but Jeff gets into Alexander Red car and he picks up all sorts of...
This is what would happen if you traveled 1 billion years into the past. Shorter days, no visible life, noxious gases in the atmosphere, bombarded by deadly ultraviolet rays from the sun with black sludgy oceans and barren land. The Earth just entered the Neo-Proterozoic era, and this is how long you'd be able to survive here. Everyone knows the survival rule of 3, stating as a general ballpark that we can survive about 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours without shelter in extreme environments, and 3 minutes without air. There's obviously exceptions, but it's a generalization. Let's run through that survival list and see how long you'd last on old Earth. Before we can do anything, we still have to be able to see. So will the sun still be there to give us light? Yes, it would, but a typical day would be around 18 hours instead of the usual 24, so we'd have to adjust to that. That is, if we can even survive until then, so let's start with food. Plants and animals, as we know today, basically don't exist yet at all. The Cambrian explosion, a period of rapid evolution that resulted in a lot of new forms of more complex life on Earth, wasn't set to happen for at least another 500 million years, so there wouldn't really be much to eat. Life existed pretty much only in the ocean, as simple, single, or even multi-celled organisms, and possibly some basic plants like algae. Yup, floating bacteria in the ocean is pretty much all we got for dinner. What about drinking water? How were the oceans like? Well, we actually kind of know exactly what they were like. Scientists found 2.7 billion year old water under Ontario, Canada, that remained untouched by our atmosphere for at least 1 billion years. They took it up to study, and one brave soul actually tasted it herself, and it was nasty. Saltier than today's oceans, thicker than regular water, and it also turned orange when exposed to oxygen. This is what we call primordial soup, thick water filled with the early forms of microbial life. Great for kickstarting the theoretical process of evolution, not so much for drinking. What about shelter on old Earth? Could we at least protect ourselves from the elements? Well, 1 billion years ago, Earth would have been pretty flat. Big mountain ranges haven't had the chance to form yet on our shifting plates, so finding caves to shelter in would prove difficult. All land on the planet was a collection of land masses crammed closely together, forming the supercontinent of Rodinia? Yeah, not even Pangea. That wasn't set to form for another 700 million years. We've actually had a bunch of supercontinents on Earth, like Columbia, Rodinia, Pannotia, Gondwana, and then finally Pangea. In this case, it was Rodinia, surrounded by a superocean named Morovia. In these days, massive super earthquakes and super volcanoes were the norm. From how close together the tectonic plates were, all all grinding up against each other. So you'd be dealing with that as well. Microscopic food, salty, thick water to drink, and barely any shelter. Things aren't looking so good. How about air? Could we at least breathe out here? The air was technically breathable, but only for a few minutes due to the low concentration of oxygen before you'd pass out. Oxygen levels were at about 2%, while today we're at 21%, so breathing would be difficult. And there would almost definitely be some weird airborne microbes in the air that our bodies aren't used to and would us if we inhaled them. Not to mention the ozone layer wasn't set to form for another 400 million years, so the sun's radiation would very quickly fry you too. If the heat didn't get you first, as the average global temperature could have been anywhere around 50 degrees Celsius, but they're really just guessing here. The only thing that would be the same as it is right now is gravity, our friendly universal constant. But this is really all just a scientific guess at best. In fact, we're missing about 1 billion years of Earth's history, during which time we don't really know what happened. When dealing with these timescales of hundreds of millions, billions of years, we look at the geological record for study, core samples, and rock layers. The deeper we go, the further back in time we are, and newer, more recent layers get stacked on top. We can analyze these layers for their chemical composition and find out what the Earth was like during a specific era. But all over the entire world, there's an abrupt missing section of layers, and we have no idea why. Known as the Great Unconformity, best exposed in the Grand Canyon, where you can find Cambrian-era rocks about 500 million years old, stacked directly on top of Precambrian rocks about 1.7 billion years old. That's 1.2 billion years missing, right in the middle of which we'd find Earth 1 billion years ago. Yeah, I know it's a lot of math, but basically we have no clue what it was like.
What conspiracy theories are too logical to be ignored? Part 12.
The government intentionally fuels the racial divide in America. The more you all keep fighting amongst yourselves and looking at each other as the enemy, the more they get away with effing you all over with little to no consequences. As Carlin says, now to balance the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences, cause that's all you ever hear about in this country, is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about. The things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society.
I saw some of those people go to clap, but then noticed that, whoa, this could be a bad thing on my resume, and then sit back on their hands.
Oh, wow. I shed many a tear with this choice. It was scary. I was leading a successful life as an actor. I was the go-to rom-com guy. I liked doing rom-coms. They paid well.
Matthew McConaughey just jumped into the ongoing Hollyweird conversation that has had the internet in a chokehold for months now. And he's basically confirming that those industry parties we've heard about are just as bad as they seem. From all the dark initiation rituals upcoming stars are forced to go through to the severe consequences they suffer if they decided to step away from the fold, it's truly a horror show. What's crazier? Matthew has fallen victim to this dark initiation process, and when he tried to move away from Hollywood to focus on his life, his career nearly got blackballed. In fact, he believes he could have been a much bigger actor if certain powers that be were not working on his downfall simply because he told them no. The sad thing is that Matthew is not alone in this. So many other actors and artists have also been blackballed for either speaking up about the evils of Hollywood or refusing to join the crowd. But did Matthew really get initiated into secret cults in Hollywood? And was he targeted because of his refusal to suck up to the Illuminati?
Matthew McConaughey is opening up about why he and his family moved away from Hollywood. While speaking on the Good Trouble podcast, the Oscar winner shares that before he starred in projects like True Detective and Dallas Buyers Club, he was only seen as the, quote, rom-com dude.
Matthew McConaughey has had a very impressive career with high points that most actors only dream of. But he has also faced his fair share of trouble, especially when it comes to standing firm in his beliefs while chasing career opportunities and fame. But everyone has their breaking point, and for Matthew, his came when he decided he could no longer deal with the BS of Hollywood. He and his family packed their things and moved to a ranch in Texas, and according to him, it was the best decision he ever made. According to Matthew, the industry gets overwhelming at times, and he sometimes finds himself saying yes to everything, even if they were bad for him. He needed to keep himself grounded, and the only way he could do that was to focus on his family and craft.
Just like how they're hiding the secret of the pyramid under the Hoover Dam.
The U.S. government, which is covering up the truth about the ancient pyramid under the Hoover Dam.
And I just thought how so many of us, including myself, have been focusing so much on CERN. And what if CERN has just basically been gathering an energy source like dark matter or whatnot to open a Stargate? And what if that Stargate is actually the Hoover Dam? And once I started researching this, I found some interesting articles. There's not a heck of a lot of them, but these articles are all talking about how the Hoover Dam was built like a Stargate. So I believe that a lot of people did different research and that this is all connected and culminating together. And if we look at this article, I think this needs to be looked into on a much deeper scale. I just think that there's something going on with the Hoover Dam, and what if what is going to be birthed forth is something that's actually going to come out of that area? What if this also is a large part, a smaller part? What if these archways to Bell that they've been putting up, we don't know what's been constructed inside of them. I do have a video that I've seen where a person had mentioned that all the arches were built by robots and were all built by machines. And who's to say, with the weird things that are going on in this day and age of technology and what have you, what's to say that these archways aren't going to be dimensional portals put up all over the world for, you know, the armies of the underworld to come forth through, or the fallen angels, the dark ones, whatever you want to call them. Whatever's coming through them isn't going to be good, but there's a lot of other stuff that's coming together, and I just believe that we need to be really, really paying attention very closely as to what is going on and look into all aspects of all things in order to see what the enemy is up to.
Hey, sorry if I'm not reacting so much, guys. These are deep, man. I'm watching them for the first time, just like you. And a lot of these are pretty deep. They got me just watching. Huh. I'm gonna get back to reacting, but you know, how y'all enjoying it so far? Let me know.
Imagine this scenario. The U.S. government obtains intelligence that hidden somewhere in central Iraq is an actual Stargate, placed there by the Anunnaki gods of ancient Sumeria. This device employs time travel technology and permits individuals and equipment to pass into another dimension outside of the space-time continuum. Once there, it is possible to travel across the galaxy or into another galaxy instantaneously, and then pop back into space-time on another planet. The government also learns that Nibiru, the 12th planet, is due to make its return passage through our solar system on its 3,600-year orbit in a matter of months. In this scenario, when Nibiru is closest to Earth, the Anunnaki, the ancient huge hominoid gods of Sumeria who built the Stargate, would, it seems likely, take the opportunity to travel to Earth through that same Stargate and will set up their encampment in Iraq. By default, this will have the effect of propping up the current regime. U.S. government leaders know that such an eventuality must be prevented at all costs, so they decide that with the help of extraterrestrial allies, they must invade Iraq and close the Stargate. The Russians, Germans, and French, however, having been intimately involved in Iraq's archaeology, know what they're up to, and prefer that the Stargate remain open, thus preventing American domination of the world. With time running out, President Bush invades Iraq. American scientists raid the museum and close the Stargate, thus frustrating the grandiose ambitions of the self-styled reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar, Saddam Hussein, and making the world safe for the New World Order.
According to Dr. Michael Salla, this is exactly what actually happened. Such a fantastic theory would not be expected from someone whose entire career has been spent in academia, pursuing rather conventional political and diplomatic studies. Dr. Salla, an Australian national, obtained his MA in philosophy from the University of Melbourne, and then his doctorate in government from the University of Queensland in 1993. After spending 2 years as an associate at the Centre for Middle Eastern and Central Asian Studies in Australia, he joined the faculty of the Department of Political Science at Australian National University in Canberra as a lecturer. In 1996, he came to the U.S. and gained an academic appointment at the School of International Service at American University in Washington, D.C., where he remained until 2001. He is currently researching methods of transformational peace as a researcher in residence in the Center for Global Peace at American University.
He believes that the U.S., Russia, Germany, and France have been aware that the Anunnaki left behind some very high-tech apparatus and possible weaponry when they abandoned the Earth around 1700 BC, and that Saddam Hussein had been getting assistance from Russian, German, and French archaeological teams for years in an attempt to unravel and perhaps reverse engineer this apparatus, which Salah claims is probably far in advance of any technology we might have obtained from the Greys, from Zeta Reticuli, who he believes to be our friends. If a European-Iraqi alliance were able to back-engineer this technology and/or strike up an alliance with the Anunnaki when they return, Salah thinks, then whatever military advantage the U.S. has had with its technology, even including anti-gravity craft, would probably disappear, and we would quickly become a second-rate power. The return of Planet X centers on the recovery of a technology once housed at Solomon's Temple that is used to open a gateway linking Earth with far-off regions of space. Recent military and political activity suggests that the world powers are jockeying for position as if the return of Planet X is imminent. The stakes are high. This planet is at the center of a biblical prophecy known as the Day of the Lord, a picture of an ancient Sumerian tablet in which the god Anu, the ruler of Planet X, appears to be going through a gate, flanked by two people holding posts or pillars with globes on top. These poles, splendid shining posts, represent the Stargate in a simplified form. Another Sumerian tablet shows Gilgamesh going through a similar gate. Gilgamesh, the hero of the ancient Sumerian epic poem bearing his name, written about 2900 BC. He was the king of Uruk, a city in southern Mesopotamia, who sought immortality by searching for the stairway to heaven and the abode of the gods. Ultimately, he ascended a ladder and went through a gate and entered a new world where he met long-dead Utnapishtim, Noah, and questioned him about the gods. Dr. Salah believes the Stargate will be found at Uruk, where German archaeologists have been digging for many years at the invitation of...
Hey, we got some long clips in this video, don't we? If you guys are into the long clips, let me know. If you guys just want the shorter TikToks and stuff like that, also let me know. But this seems interesting, and we said we were going to get into Anunnaki and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know if you guys want, shorter clips, for sure.
Saddam Hussein, and have unearthed an ancient city.
The darkest conspiracies in the world. The Kennedy assassination is one of the most talked about conspiracies in the world. But what really happened? Struck by 2 bullets while in downtown Dallas, Texas, Kennedy was killed on November 22nd, 1963. Lee Harvey Oswald took the hit for it and was arrested the same day for the assassination. Only 2 days later, Oswald would be killed on live TV. Theories range from it being an inside job, conjoined forces of the Mafia, the CIA, and even the Soviet Union. Others speculate he had made too many enemies behind the scenes and they wanted him dead. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the plus sign if you think it was a setup.
I think it was a setup.
You said that you've seen evidence. Like, what kind of evidence have you seen?
I have seen photos. I have seen...
what have you seen photos of?
So I was in a skiff, and I can't discuss all that was in a skiff, but what I can tell you is based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind.
It seems crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
What I can tell you is that when you have thousands upon thousands of people around the planet throughout time that have reported something.
Right.
To say that those people are crazy, to say that, you know, the whole concept of even just asking the question that you might not necessarily be psychologically sound, that in itself, you know, that's a disinformation campaign to get people to shut up about it. And that's a problem. We know that the U.S. government has not exactly been clean, and a lot of what they've done with the American people, specifically to the topic of UFOs.
Which makes you think that it's probably because there's something there. If you think about the motivation they had with Project Blue Book, when J. Allen Hynek was running Project Blue Book, this specific intention was to discredit all stories.
And he ended up ultimately, though, after all of his investigations, becoming someone that was like, I think there's something here. But that,
I don't think it looks like a comet.
That's a comet.
Oh, shit. Oh, what the hell? It's like a comet for real, look. It's not a comet.
That's not a comet.
That is not a comet.
Yeah, it's breaking through the atmosphere right now.
Stay woke.
File in the Illuminati archive.
Okay, that's Keanu now, and here he is in Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992.
He's barely aged a day. How old are these photos? And who are all these women? Hollywood immortals? The Illuminati has spread their message using the charisma of actors for centuries, but get this, they found a way to keep them alive so their star power never dies.
Hollywood's leading men are making themselves immortal using the blood of young women. They're all hundreds of years old.
Every ageless leading man is one of them. Nicolas Cage, Brad Pitt, Larry David, and the most bloodthirsty of them all, Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's why they all date 19-year-old models who we never see again, for their blood.
Shit. Go to my next cleanup job. Someone on the internet found out Margot Robbie is CGI. Call me later.
Ricky, you gotta
Now tell me, why would they make something like this?
Hey, well, that's it for the video today, guys. I hope y'all enjoy it. It had me stuck in La La Land watching it too, man. Again, let me know if y'all want shorter videos or longer videos. Yeah, merch coming soon. I'm not gonna put it out yet just because I want to get some samples and, you know, get that going and make sure the quality is good for you guys. But yeah, merch coming soon. I got a real good one coming up, a technology versus nature video coming up. I'm working on that one. I think it's gonna be one of the best ones yet. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Be safe. Love you, Dark Mafia. Peace.